Greetings and welcome to another edition of Delta Media Group's Tech Tuesday. So today I have big plans for you. We're going to go over the blogging platform, and if you've seen the DeltaNet 4 video on the blogging platform, the DeltaNet 5 video is going to be pretty similar to it. Like most things in there, the functionality is very similar as far as getting everything set up, though everything obviously looks very different. Also, I might have a joke for you today. I'm still piecing it together in my head. It could be funny. We'll see. Most people probably won't get it, so I'll save it to the end, and then if everyone who has tuned out by then will miss the joke, and they'll probably be the better for it. Anyway, into the DeltaNet we go. So here we are on our home welcome page to begin with, and to set up a blog, we'll go down to Marketing and click on Blog. So the way the system works is the system is all managed on this page. So this is the actual management of the blog, and then you actually place the link to the blog page on your website on the Pages page or through the Pages system. And I'll show you that as well. So for now, first thing we'll do is we'll get the blog set up, and then we'll go in and put the link in. So here we are to create a new blog, and you can create more than one, but for now we will click on Add New Blog. We'll give our blog a title. Okay. So with these blogs, once you have a blog title set up, it's very difficult, bordering on impossible, for us to migrate a blog from one name to the other or one URL to the other. So when you set it up, you want these initial settings to be solid. I mean, you want to be careful when you set up this initial title and everything. If there's a typo in there, you have to delete the blog and create a new one in order to change it. So anyway, we'll put in your blog title, and that's going to be the title of the blog overall, and search engines will pick up on that if they index the pages in your blog. For blog domain, I am going to choose, well, if you have a custom domain set up, and I went ahead and set one up for this agent account, then you'll want to select that, and you want to have that selected as your primary domain. The reason for that is this blog will only exist under the domain you have selected here. So I know that sounds confusing, but like this would be the standard domain of this agent page. So this blog will exist at whatever you have selected here, followed by whatever you have here. So if I wanted this, I can put in a /. I'll put an underscore there, that's nice. So this is going to exist at hdemo2.dmgdemo.com / Harley's blog /. So you have to start it off with the / because that's how a URL is set up. But this is where this blog is going to exist, and this is the only place the blog is going to exist. So if you have this selected as your custom domain, then it's going to be wolfarth.net / Harley's blog. So you want to make sure that you're using the blog for your domain that you are actually using for your website. Because this domain is set up in here, just so I could show you an example, but the domain isn't actually pointed at this website, that's why I'm not going to use it. And you can change which domain is set up here later on. Now the last option you have here is you can select from some feeds that will automatically feed blog articles into your blog. Ideally, whenever you have a blog, you want to create all your own content if you can. But if you don't have time, just so that there's some content on here, it can help to put those on here. And we just provide these as some base ones you can use if you want to. But you can add and remove feeds later on too. So I'll go ahead and add 2 of these so that I can show that to you. And when you create blog, and there we are. So our blog now exists, and we'll just run through each of these settings here. First off, articles is how you create an article, and we'll get back to that. Categories are how your blog is organized. You can create new categories, and every article will fit within one category. So you can't have nested categories. You can have, like a buyer's category and a seller's category, but you can't have buyers and then foreclosures under buyers for people, for articles that would relate primarily to foreclosures and be marketing to buyers. So anyway, you can't have nested categories like that. Each article can be in one category. And now for tags, each article can have multiple tags associated with it, and with these tags, it'll create kind of a tag cloud on the right column of the blog that people can select from, and it'll bring up all the articles that match whatever tag they click on. And then over here we have feeds. These are the 2 feeds that I added. So any articles that are written in these feeds will automatically be fed into my blog. So right now, even though I haven't put in any blog articles, if I preview my blog, you see I have a bunch of articles in here. And that's because they're feeding from those third-party blog feeds. Now if I wanted to, I could go in here and I could add a feed to a specific blog. So if there's a local area blog or a local event blog that you want to include here, you can add a new feed, put in a title for it, and here you'll leave this on inbound because the blog or because the feed is coming into your blog. And here you would need to paste the URL of the blog feed, and that you would have to get from the third-party blog. So I've seen people do recipe blogs, you could do DIY blogs, and you could feed those in here. Another thing you can do, because you can create multiple blogs, you could create your own blog up here that is your main real estate blog where you put all of your articles. And then you could create a second blog that's just dedicated to recipes, and then maybe feed a recipe blog in here and add in your own new recipes as you see fit. So that would be an interesting idea and something you can do with this. And the beauty of the blog platforms, it's all about driving traffic to your site and getting people interested in stuff so that they click on these articles and go back to your site. So kind of the sky's the limit as far as what these can be about, just whatever you think people will be interested in. I mean, even if it's not about real estate, even if they're not interested in buying or selling right now, if they see a recipe they like because you shared your blog article on your Facebook page, that's still driving traffic to your site. And any traffic you drive there is going to help you out as far as search ranking, as far as getting more traffic, and as far as just getting your name out there. So, but I digress. Now, as far as how the system actually works, we'll get back to that. The next tab we have here is domains. So this allows you to select from multiple domains if you have more than one set up here. Like I said, we're going to leave this one selected so that it actually works. If I tried to select this one instead, and I tried to go here, the blog would no longer exist because this is the domain that's up here. But, so long story short, make sure you have the domain selected that is the one you're actually using for your website. But to try not to get bogged down too much further with that, if we go over to the templates tab, these are the basic blog templates. So you can choose from 3 of these, and we're talking about adding more of these so you'll have more choices at some point. But right now, these are the 3 options you can choose from, and it's just the overall look of your blog page. And then lastly, if we click on settings over here, these are all limitations that you can put on your own blog page. So all of the sections in the right column, the ones I mentioned for categories and for tags, you can choose whether or not those are shown. So if you run down the line on these, you would just click hide, and that would hide that section. So if we go over here, you can see right now, because I don't have any categories or anything set up, the only thing is the search and the RSS feed. If I wanted to remove those, I could say hide on both, and save that. And now if I refresh my blog page, they're gone. So pretty cool. Now it leaves that over there because there are other sections that aren't being displayed just because they don't have any information in them. So we'll go back to show those. And I'll go into feeds, and I'll go ahead and get rid of these. Just delete feed and delete feed again. And now we will create an article. So under articles, we'll click add new article, and see the author's already filled in because it's you. For category, I don't have any categories created, but if I created categories under here, I would be able to select them. So we'll go ahead and create a buyer's category. Why not? Or better yet, buying information. So now we have that category. Go back to our articles, and now it is selected. In fact, it's picked by default because it's my only category that's not uncategorized. So buying information. And tags is the same deal. If you add tags under the tags tab, you'll be able to select them here. So we'll go ahead and add a new tag. Buying new homes. That'll work for now. Add new article. So let's say we want that category. You can select a single tag, or if you hold down your control key or command key on a Mac, you can select more than one. Why you should buy a house. And that's just going to be the title of this individual article. And then for meta title, this is what search engines will pick up in relation to this specific blog article, so we can just put the same thing there. Meta description is supposed to be a brief, readable description of the page, and you can find lots of information on meta descriptions online. But basically, search engines will pick those up, use them as the description and search results for your pages more often than not, and also use them in indexing your page. So this describes why you should a new home. I like the sound of that better. And if we go down into our WYSIWYG editor here, this is the same WYSIWYG editor that should be familiar from all the other pages, and we've gone over this past couple of weeks, so I won't get too in-depth with it. Right? Okay. So, once you have your article all created, and you can add pictures and embed videos and everything with the WYSIWYG editor, and like I said, we went over that a couple weeks ago, so you can see the video for that one. And once you have everything set up the way you want, you can determine whether or not you want Facebook comments or people to be able to leave Facebook comments on this article, and this is decided on an individual article basis. So for this one, I'll go ahead and check the box, and we'll say we're allowing Facebook comments. You can choose a publish date. By default, it'll be the current date. You can set this as a future date and set it to publish, and then it will automatically publish on that date. Or you can just leave it as the current date, and it'll publish right away as soon as you hit publish article. But if you wanted, instead of publishing the article, you can also save a draft. So if you're not done with this and you want to get back and work on it later, or if this is a particularly large article and you're putting a lot of content in here, because the DeltaNet by default will log you out after 25 minutes unless you tell it to keep you logged in, I would always suggest that periodically you come down here and save draft. That way you don't lose the information you've been working on just because you were working on it more than 25 minutes. So that can be devastating if it's a large article. So for now, we will publish article, and there's our article. So now if we go to our blog page, it refreshes, and there's our blog article. And you can see it automatically filled in. Here's the tags that I added. These will fill in like a tag cloud, so the more referenced tags will be larger and sort of bolded like this, whereas the less referenced tags will all be listed here, but they'll all be in a smaller font. So it's a real quick way somebody can look and see what most of the articles in your blog are about. And then you also have buying information here, which is the category we chose. It'll list out all the categories if you had more than one. And then your archives. And like I showed you earlier in the blog settings section, you can add and remove all these as you see fit. Now the other thing you can do that I did not mention in that section, if we go back into our blog settings, up here at the top, you can limit your articles to 500 characters and have a read more link. So if you didn't want on your main blog page to display the entire blog article, you could limit your main blog page to just displaying those first 500 characters and have that read more link, and then when people click on it, they'll go to the page specific to that article alone and be able to read the whole article there. But here they'll just kind of get that 500 character snippet of it. Now the other things you'll notice about the blog page itself is here you can, here's the Facebook comments that I told it to include. So this is where people would leave their Facebook comments. And then you also have all your social share links along the top of this. The nice thing there is it'll be real easy for you to share your own blog articles this way. Blarticles. So if you click on the share button here, then you'll sign into your Facebook account. You can share it on your Facebook page, and that will get you more exposure for all the blog articles that you write. All right, so the last part of the blog system is how you can add that link to your homepage. So to do that, we're going to go up to the website tab and down to pages. And then as we look through our page list, we will see one, there we are. So it's sorted alphabetically by the name of the blog, but it'll have blog in brackets before it. So if we click on that, we can see that the system knows that this is a blog page. It fills in the link title as the blog title automatically, but you can change that if you want. And like any other page, you decide if you want it to be navigation menu or bottom links. So we'll say navigation menu, and we'll say bottom links too, why not? Update page. And now if we scroll down to our navigation menu section, here it is. So we'll embed it under meat. I kind of like that. And then Save, and I have two meats in here for some reason. Let's see if I got rid of the right one. Ah, I did. Look at that. So there we are. Now if we go to our page, we'll just go back to the home page. We have all of our drop-down menus, and under meat we have my awesome blog. And there's the blog page. So there you go. That's all there is to it. Now you can get your own blog page set up. You can start firing off articles, and the more articles you create, the more often you update content on your website, the more traffic you're going to get, the more pages you're going to have to index, and it's all going to help you ultimately drive more leads into your website. So, as always, thank you for joining me today. It's been a wonderful talk. I promised I'd leave you with a joke, so let me see if I can remember it. Descartes walks into a bar. René Descartes, the famous philosopher, walks into a bar, walks up to the bartender, and he has a beer. Finishes his beer, the bartender walks up and says, "Do you want another?" Descartes says, "I think not." And then he disappears in a puff of logic. I know, it's kind of obscure. And never mind. So, if you have any questions, if you want to you have any suggestions for new videos, you have any questions, you want somebody to explain the joke that's really obscure, feel free to leave a comment on any of our YouTube videos. Can leave a comment on our Facebook page. You can email us at support@deltagroup.com, or you can give us a call. So, it's been wonderful going over the DeltaNet with you today, and I will talk to you again next week.